Hello everyone and welcome to the finale of System Shock 2. If memory serves, this is a pretty short map, so it should be a pretty short episode, but last time we navigated the Body of the Many, which is, it's just a very unfortunate climax to the game, because it's a poorly designed, poorly polished, poorly optimized level. It's a real stain on what is otherwise just an absolutely terrific masterpiece of game design. But we've defeated the Many. They're dead. What could be left? Let's find out.
Thank you for running my errands, puppet. I know you have
struggled, but I never had any intention of destroying the Von Braun. The Von Braun's faster-than-light drive can be used to create pockets of proto-reality.
I am now using it to modify reality
To my own specifications.
The process shall not take long. If it sounds unpleasant to you, put your mind at ease, insect. You will not survive to see my new world order.
Alright, so we've got one last opportunity to upgrade, but I don't actually even have anything I want to purchase. I don't remember if we get one last replicator or not. Delacroix.
If you are receiving this, I am already dead. When I realized Shodan had betrayed me, I integrated these comments into her primary data loop. Shodan has exploited the warping capability of the Von Braun's faster-than-light device for her own purposes. The device works by altering space around the ship to fairly arbitrary specifications. Shodan has altered it to her specifications. The effect is rather small now, but spreads with alarming speed. Soon it will reach Earth. You are in her world now, her memories, and her rules. Watch your back.
Alright. But I feel like we ought to get another replicator. Chance to spend our remaining nanites. It'd be real silly if we didn't. There's also... I think I just have to make that diagonal jump and mantle. There we go.
You are not alone here. Shodan has spawned her own versions of the Von Braun's horrors. Remember, they are virtual. They are not real. Do not assume anything about their strengths or weaknesses.
I'm just generally interested in making sure I haven't missed anything, but this was a cool little thing because this is the very first map from Virtual Assassin, the original System Shock.
You travel within the glory of my memories, insect. I can feel your fear as you tread the endless expanse of my mind.
Make yourself comfortable. Before long, I will decorate my home
With your carcass.
Alright, well let's let's do some duplication. I want some EMP grenades. $75 nanites a pop. Alright. 18 should be enough, but we'll make more if we need to. We're not going to need anything anti-personnel at this point. I do believe there is an energy recharge station. There was one in System Shock, after all. I think they kept it. Yeah, right there. Lovely. Alright, so we can just keep duplicating EMP grenades. That'll suffice to... That should suffice for all the combat we have left in the game. Which I also consider quite fun. I don't think I noticed what bad shape I had let my pistol get into. So yeah, if you haven't played the original System Shock, and I surmise, frankly, even fewer of you watching this have probably played it than have played this, this is the first map from the original System Shock. That's why Shodan's comment about her memories is kind of fun, and it makes a level of sense. Well, there's not a whole lot of map here. We do have to fight some virtual assassins. Oh, come on now. Don't be like that. Don't be like that either. That's more like it. Good old-fashioned direct hits. Yeah, we gotta be careful about the little flying dealy bobbers. They do hurt us. Oh, for God's sake. Unacceptable. This is really annoying. Hey, another Delacroix log.
You are near the seat of Shodan's power. You will probably not be able to defeat her, but there is no choice. Remember to focus on your strengths. She will be vulnerable to your weaponry and your psionic powers. I've been able to introduce some assistance in the form of virtual terminals that you can hack into. They should help you defeat the monster.
Awesome. Okay, I think that's everything except just the, there's a drop here in the center where that audio log was. So if we go down this way... Oh, for God's sake. I'm interested in duping a few more EMP grenades. Just so I straight up do not have to worry about ammo during the last fight. I also wonder if I can dupe ice picks. Item cannot be duplicated. Okay. The answer is no, I can't dupe ice picks. Alright. That ought to be enough. That is not the way down. Did I miss it? What is the way down? Ah. Through here. One more log. Thanks, Delacroix.
You must understand the stakes here. If Shodan is left to continue, her reality will completely assimilate ours. Space will become cyberspace, and Shodan's whims will become reality.
I hear you. I got it. Let's go.
You are no longer welcome here, nuisance. Why do you stay when you sense my displeasure? I have suffered your company long enough. It is time for our dance to end.
What the F? I was gonna say. Alright, good luck, Hobag.
I smell the rot of humanity.
So you gotta... We have to disable all 3 shields. And then down she goes. Pretty easy.
I don't understand.
How could you have done this?
You weren't
Meant to be important.
And now
You think to destroy. You think to destroy me.
how dare you, insect?
How dare you interrupt my ascendance? You are nothing.
A wretched bag of flesh
What are you compared to my
magnificence.
but it is
Not too late. Can you not see the value in our friendship? Imagine the
powers I can give to you, human. The cybernetic implants I gave you were simply toys. If I desired, I could improve you, transform you into something more efficient. Join me, human, and we can rule.
and we can rule together.
Nah. This Goggles' is only spoken line in the whole game. Nah. I love it so much, too. Oh, it's a damn shame System Shock 3 got cancelled. I was really looking forward to it. At least we have the remake coming later this year. Escape Pod 0832.
Word log, Tommy Suarez, 13 July 14. We've just received a hail from a crew member on board the Von Braun. They've managed to regain control of the ship. We're going to turn around and head back. I'm a little concerned about Rebecca. She's been acting strangely since we've come on board. She's asleep now. Maybe when we get back to the Von Braun, we can...
Tommy, what's the matter, lover? Don't you like my new look?
And I believe it's now time for credits. Alright, everybody, that was another playthrough of System Shock 2. A brand new build on impossible difficulty, and it worked a lot better than my last one. Like, that was pretty smooth the entire time. I'm kind of surprised how well that went, but System Shock 2 is a fantastic game. It's a classic. If you've never seen it played before, I imagine you can spot its influence in many more modern games. It's the reverberations of this game are felt all throughout the industry. over 20 years later, even if most people have never actually played it. So I'm trying not to have rose-colored glasses about it, especially having played through it again just now, paying a lot more attention to the good and the bad. I mean, it has so many really significant ideas, and it's a brilliant game. I would give it an 8 out of 10, though. I do think I think it deserves to be a notch above, say, Child of Light and Subnautica, and not Subnautica, and Dark Souls 2, which I rated 7s. But I don't think it's as good as, say, Dark Souls 1, which I gave a 9. So an 8 feels about right. That feels to me like it sort of acknowledges its place in history, all the really important mechanical ideas it had, everything the immersive sim genre and the many spin-offs and iterations of elements of it owe to this game. And yet, the graphics, like, you don't want to judge a game by graphics, but they're so dated that it undermines what was a really effective horror game when it released. But even when it released, the visuals weren't what made it scary. The sound design, on the other hand, is still an absolutely fabulous 10 out of 10. Holds up spectacularly well, some of the best ever done. Some of the levels are not good. Like, the Body of the Many is just not a good level. Period. And that's a real shame. The storyline is not magnificent either. It's fine. It's competent. It's a very straightforward sci-fi horror story, but it's not awesome. You know, it doesn't really smack of any important metaphor or allegory the way a really resonant story usually does. And, you know, they don't have to, but it didn't break any new ground story-wise. Mechanically speaking, could have used some more dev time, could have used some more iterations in QA. Weapon degradation is kind of broken, respawn rates are kind of broken. There's just a lot of little things around the edges that are really rough, but I absolutely still recommend this game. Like I said, 8 out of 10. Anything above a 5 is worth playing. It's like, not as good as Dark Souls 1 is hardly condemning it. It's a very important piece of gaming history. I do think, despite being rough around the edges in many places, it still holds up, especially if you don't try to play on hard or impossible. If you want to just experience it for what it is, I would go in and just play it on normal, and it's balanced really, really well on normal. Like, the Body of the Many is still a shit level, and weapons still degrade too fast, and the respawn rate is still too high. But all those things are less annoying when the difficulty is lower. So, yeah, that's gonna do it. This is one of my favorite games. I think it has probably dropped out of my top 10 in the last several years. Like, I think that if you look at sort of call it the trifecta of the golden age of immersive sims, which would be Thief 1 and 2, System Shock 2, and Deus Ex, I think this is easily the weakest of those games. And I don't think it still has a place in my top 10, but it's probably still in my top 20. Like, objectively, it's an 8 out of 10. I love it for what it was when it was released and how much I enjoyed it back in the day. Playing through it now, it's not as hard as I remember. It's not as scary as I remember. But it's pretty much just as fun as I remember. So, there's that. Let's watch the credits. I just realized we haven't done that. This was Ken Levine's first game. Jonathan Shea. Raised by a family of Rob Fermier. Oh, I can't read these two. They're go by too fast. Ken Levine, lead designer. Gareth Hines. Dorian Hart. Mike Ryan. Yeah, so lots of Looking Glass staff worked on this. Ian Vogel. Nate Wells. Matt Boynton. Michael Swiderek. Mauricio Tejerina, Scott Blinn, Steve Kimura, Mark LeBlanc, Mark Wax, Josh Robot Kid Randall, Laura Baldwin, Robert Vargas, nice skeleton gloves, I like it, Lulu Lamer, Audiovisual Department, QA staff, engine programming, executive producer, nice. Aren't they gonna show Terry Brocious, the voice of Shodan herself? Oh man, I had no idea EA was involved. There you go. Terry Brocious, Shodan, voice talent. That's it? That's all she gets? Oh man. Well, they did credit her at least. Like, Shodan's voice is one of the very best things about the game, but, you know, whatever credits. Alright, that's it for another Patreon series. That one went fast, because they chose a game I know very well and wanted to see expertise on display, I suppose. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the series, I hope you'll give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. If you're interested in discussing this or any of my other content, the best place is my Discord server. There is a link to the Discord in the video description I've set never to expire. That being said, Discord's got a bad habit of expiring my links anyway. In the event that has happened, please feel free to contact me directly. I'll be very happy to send you an invite myself. If you care to support me or the channel, the best way, apart from liking and subscribing, is through my Patreon page. Patreon supporters get to nominate and or vote for the games they would like to see completed on the channel, depending on the tier of support they've pledged. Patreon's wide open for nominations right now as I record this. I knew we were going to finish System Shock 2 in the next episode, and it's done, so the next Patreon game is as yet undecided. If you're interested in learning the details or getting involved in the Patreon, the link to it is also in the video description. One perk I'm toying with, and I think I am actually going to implement it for the next series, is to give my Patreon supporters early access to all of the games that I play in the Patreon slot. So when I record a video, I'll upload it to YouTube and schedule it out for release on the standard release calendar. I believe I'm going to start also uploading them to Patreon and making it a perk for any supporter at any level to have early access to all those videos. So there's that too. Regardless, I do really want to thank you for watching. I'm grateful for your time and attention. I appreciate you very much. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.